Ethan Cole stood in front of LuxEdge, his flagship store, clutching a plain cardboard box labeled samples. Dressed in worn sneakers, faded jeans, and a hoodie, he looked like just another delivery worker navigating the bustling streets of Manhattan. But inside, Ethan's heart pounded, not with nerves but with purpose. Today, Ethan wasn't just delivering a package. He was delivering a lesson. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision, one he hoped would reveal the truth about how his employees treated people they thought were beneath them. As he stepped through the sleek glass doors, Ethan was met with the polished interiors that had come to symbolize the success of his high-end brand. However, what unfolded inside was not the welcoming professionalism he had worked so hard to cultivate. It was a chilling display of arrogance and prejudice. Two sales associates, Alex and Mia, barely glanced at him before their laughter filled the air, sharp and cutting. "Wrong door," Alex said with a smirk, while Mia added dismissively, "We don't handle that kind of stuff here." What they didn't know was that the man they were ridiculing wasn't a mere delivery guy. He was their boss. And he wasn't going to let this moment pass unnoticed. With every snide remark, Ethan's resolve grew stronger. He stayed quiet, determined to observe their behavior to the end. Would their prejudice cost them their positions? How would Ethan address their blatant disrespect? What came next would serve as a turning point, not just for Alex and Mia, but for everyone in the store. Ethan placed a box on the gleaming counter, his calm demeanor masking the fire burning inside him. "Good morning," he greeted evenly, though he could feel their judgment in their cold stares. Alex barely looked up, his smirk widening as if he'd already decided Ethan wasn't worth his attention. "The service door's in the back," he said, jerking his thumb dismissively. Taking a slow, steady breath, Ethan replied, "I was told to deliver these samples here." His voice was calm, but inside, he braced himself for more condescension. Mia, engrossed in her phone, let out a dramatic sigh. "We don't deal with deliveries up front," she said, her tone dripping with superiority. "Just leave it and go." The dismissal hit hard, but Ethan remained composed. Meeting Mia's gaze, he replied, "I prefer to speak with the manager directly." His polite tone masked the steel beneath his words. Alex chuckled, leaning lazily on the counter. "You're lucky we're even talking to you," he said, his voice loud enough to draw the attention of nearby customers. Ethan felt a flicker of anger rise, but quickly suppressed it. Years of being underestimated had taught him to channel frustration into action. From across the store, Sophie Carter, the assistant manager, froze as she noticed Ethan. Her eyes widened in recognition, and she quickly walked over, her expression a mix of alarm and determination. "Mr. Cole," she whispered, her voice low but urgent. "What are you doing here?" Ethan offered her a faint smile, his calm gaze a subtle signal to stay quiet. "Observing," he said simply. Sophie's face flushed as she glanced at Alex and Mia, still oblivious to the storm brewing. "The manager's busy," Alex interjected curtly. "Just leave it here and get moving." His dismissive tone now bordered on outright contempt. Ethan locked eyes with Alex, his steady gaze unnerving. Before he could respond, Sophie stepped forward. "Alex, Mia, a word. Now." Her firm tone left no room for argument. She pulled them aside, her voice low but urgent. "Do you have any idea who that is?" she asked, her words sharp and deliberate. Alex faltered, his earlier bravado fading. "The delivery guy," he ventured weakly. "That," Sophie said, her voice trembling with restrained anger, "is Ethan Cole, the founder of LuxEdge." Her words struck like lightning. Alex's face turned ashen, and Mia's phone slipped from her hand, clattering onto the counter. They turned to Ethan, who had removed his hoodie, revealing the quiet authority of a man who had built an empire from scratch. His calm intensity was more cutting than any reprimand. Ethan stepped forward, his voice quiet but firm. "You thought what?" he asked, his tone steady. "That I didn't belong here? That I wasn't worth your respect?" Each word hit like a hammer, stripping away their excuses. Is this how you treat all delivery workers? Or just the ones who don't fit your image of belonging here? He continued, his voice rising slightly, not in anger, but with a sense of purpose that silenced the entire store. This company was built on respect, hard work, and inclusion, Ethan declared. I started as a delivery driver myself, and I will not tolerate anyone being treated as less than. His words carried a weight that no one could ignore. Alex and Mia stood frozen, their faces pale as the gravity of their actions set in. Ethan's gaze swept the room, meeting the eyes of employees and customers alike. Respect isn't optional, he said, his tone firm yet calm. It's the foundation of this company, and it's a right every person deserves, whether they're a CEO or a delivery driver. Sophie nodded in agreement, stepping in to finalize the dismissal paperwork for Alex and Mia. Ethan lingered in the store for a moment, his eyes drawn to the glass facade reflecting the busy Manhattan streets. His journey had come full circle, but he knew this wasn't the end. It was a new chapter. The next day, LuxEdge announced mandatory training on respect and diversity, along with a new mentorship program for workers aspiring to grow beyond their current roles. For Ethan, it wasn't just about fixing the moment. It was about ensuring a lasting change. If this story resonated with you, share it. Let's make these lessons reach as many people as possible. Together, we can inspire change one story at a time.